our fun stream today as possible, and I that's why I put you and Thor, and I put plenty, like as many as I could.
All the Ganondorfs.
And then you all busted in singles. Anyway,
Ganondorf's a bad
hey,
character, man.
I outplaced my seed.
Let's go.
If you wanted a good result, you get Bayonettas out here, man.
Well, I mean, well, stay tuned, because right now we have Censored and Thor. After this, we'll have Visitor and Earl of M.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Stay tuned.
So this right here, like, this is one of those battles that the only way this happens is when Thor's not in school because he goes to UIUC Champaign. Oh, did he? He just graduated. Okay, so this is now him back in Minnesota.
Okay, so
and then Censored is obviously from Nebraska. So like the chances that this happens are pretty slim. But here we are.
Hey man, but if he loses, he can just say, "Hey, I'm a commentator" or whatever.
That dude is the option select of like, I'm a TO. The low tier option select, yeah. You know it.
So we're actually gonna see Samus Cloud for this game one, starting on Lilac Cruz.
This is like one of those controversial, like this might be even matchups.
No, I believe it. Dude.
Samus has a lot of tools in it. Even if Cloud like combos Samus harder, obviously has a slightly better time killing. The neutral Samus kind of has this way of like staying outside of Cloud's range while still threatening him. A lot of characters can't threaten him and be outside his range. They have to pick between the two.
Yeah, and there we have the Samus combo starter, the dash attack into the forward air. Cloud being a fastballer, that's going to work for a long time.
So, I mean, how do you feel about Lilac here? I'm kind of curious as to what they struck. I presume that Samus got struck away from
FD?
Battlefield. FD?
Like, Samus probably lost FD.
All right. I mean, it's one of I see this, and Cloud, I think, will get more from this stage on average.
Definitely, 100%.
Like, Samus can have some projectiles get hurt, maybe some combos don't extend, but at the same time, some new kill confirms might come about from that slightly lowered angle off of dash attack. Dash attack Nair, if you have the lowered, jump squat, will help you there.
Ooh, and right here we have actually Thor in advantage, being Limit Cloud with more kill options than Samus at the moment.
And this is kind of that spot where it's like, okay, well, maybe this isn't even because there's kind of no way for Samus to kill with right now, except with like a sweet spot back air at the ledge or a top of screen screw attack.
Right.
Like even that probably wouldn't have killed.
A screw attack with bad DI will kill, but of course Cloud having the limit, it'll be a faster faller, the gravity. But right there, the Limit Blade Beam is going to do it. Only the grounded one would have done it. The aerial one has less knockback and damage, so good stuff to Thor landing that grounded Blade Beam.
Right there, so we saw one of those Samus confirms that, like, it's obviously just there for damage. It's just falling up air into up B. Because once you get rage, it's just not going to work anymore.
And right there's a huge issue that Samus has, landing. Like, she can't really land with much. Downer's kind of predictable. With a neutral air, buffed in 1-1-3 right there, that's going to kill him off the side.
That move is one of the strong, like those moves where you look at it and you're like, okay, that seems normal. And then it kills you at 60 and you're like, wow, okay, what happened?
Back when I co-main, man, and that patch came out, we went to the weekly the day after, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she has an option to kill in front of her besides charge shot again. It's like, this is great.
Now, right now, this is just Thor. Thor's going to play basically until an aerial kills, right? I think right now the idea, don't use your limit. Otherwise, Samus will hit you. But he seals it off with a back air. Just going very quickly, no time to react.
Absolutely no reason for Cloud to overextend there. He had like 5 different options to kill at that time. And Samus would honestly just need like a super hard dare. As long as Cloud is holding center, doesn't put himself in that position.
And I think one of these important things will be to see how Censored can start taking earlier stocks against Cloud here, right? So there's obviously a couple ways. There's just like the spiking, but a lot of times Clouds like to jump really early so that way they have more options with up B available. But Samus can read that very easily with a non-committal there, cover that jump, and knock him back far enough that he now has basically just no jump off stage.
Yeah, here we have Thor in control, holding just to get all the pressure he has with Cloud speed.
I'm not sure what the ban must have been to give Dreamland here.
I would guess Town or FD.
Yeah. Yep. So a lot of these, so right there, we saw him try to go for this, auto-cancel dare, because it can spike and it can lead to really interesting situations based off of Thor's reaction from there. Oh,
no.
That was probably supposed to be side B.
Yeah.
Limit.
Definitely limit cross slash.
Now, Thor is known right here. He does this thing where the moment he spends his limit, he, instead of like trying to slowly get it back and like play this long aerial game, he honestly just wants smash attacks. And there's another one. This time working out for him. Samus didn't have a lot of places to go, and so up was the option, but it didn't work out. And
it's working to Thor's benefit regardless. I hope Thor's next opponent is taking note of that because you called it out right then and there.
Cloud's smash attacks initially thought to be very, very good, but as no way.
Yeah.
Forward air, almost to confirm. I'm sure if Censored had had some kind of DI, it might not have been quite true.
He had a ton of options there.
But yeah.
Just fastball or even up B, whatever he wants. Up B would put him in a vulnerable spot though, so probably fastball was the way to go.
Yep.
Even air dodge, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably could have air dodged, or like if he had just simply faded farther, if he had held out.
It's really nice of Thor to help me get home sooner. So not
that
I don't love being here, man. I love it here.
You got to wait for Snoovle to get out, so we feel ya.
Oh, yeah, we got time.
There's not a lot of tournaments that start midday anymore, it feels like, unless they're regional.
Oh, no, we have Snoovle and we have Comet in winners. Then we have Earl working his way through losers. But right now, we have Thor up 2-0 on Censored.
So right there, that was kind of the situation where he almost had this pseudo edge guard, or at least the chance to put him into one. And he just kind of let him back to the stage, not for free, but there were definitely better options he could have picked to maybe cover that higher Cloud recovery.
Yeah, I'm really loving that landing neutral air into the jab. Cloud's jab 3, having an immense knockback, giving him a lot of stage control.
And obviously because it's so quick, it's one of those very few options where neutral air can be true right into it.
Right on. Ooh, there we go. The good get off me option that he needed. Had he picked a defensive option, Thor was in there with a grab. Ooh, bye.
Yep. These tether grabs have this first activable frame somewhere usually between like 60 and 75, and it's just way too laggy to be throwing out so carelessly against the Cloud.
Yeah, and there we had it, being the downfall of Censored's first stock in this game 3. Thor working on the 3-0 right now. Ooh, nice. Breaking up that grab. And his shield's kind of low.
Now, when you're looking at this FD portion, right, this is, there's the smash attack. I'm not really sure. Perhaps it was a misinput. Maybe it was just kind of to scare him. It did do, what, 18%, something like that.
It's really hard to say.
Yeah.
I know Thor uses default controls. Like, I know he's wearing a tag, but there's no controls on it whatsoever.
All right, so the back air catches Cloud being a little bit thirsty to just like double jump fully into the middle of the stage, right? Usually you have to be a little more conservative and just go, you know, what are my options? Even if I'm not in advantage state again, it takes me out of like a death situation.
Man, everyone's playing Dark Samus. Everyone's excited for Ultimate. This is the 3rd Dark Samus I see today.
It's a pretty good skin. I think Samus has some of the best skins in the entire game, if we're being real.
And we're going to get 8 more Samus skins. 8 Dark Samus skins.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see if they're like, if they get a lot of bases from previous Samus games. But
yeah, the Metroid Prime series, man. That's why I was really excited about it. And it's so funny because I kind of trashed Dark Pit for being the same thing. But I'm like, no, man, I'm a Metroid fan.
You're so excited for Samus.
Yeah, I love Dark Samus. Wait, Dark Pit? What?
Which is, yeah.
But here we are. Censored having a really hard time just getting back on stage. Limit Cloud at 130. You can't overcommit because you will lose the set.
I mean, right? So look. Oh. And I feel like there was something he could have maybe done to try to pressure Thor there at the ledge, and he just did nothing. The back hit of that up air, that old 4.
And Samus' roll being really, really bad, so that's going to do it, yeah. Thor getting the back here to close out the set, looking really clean right there. Just a lot of a lot of control.
I mean, now he'll be going on to fight, I believe, Nameless in for the top 8 qualifier.
In a little bit, but before we get to that, I think we're going to have Earl of M versus Visitor.
Okay, so Visitor is Mr. May.